It's not an interview without it. Also, if you guys missed it at halftime tonight's game, we had Gil Brandt go into the Ring of Honor here at AT&T Stadium. There you see his name up there with so many other Cowboys greats. Congratulations to him. What a moment here for Gil and the entire Cowboys family. But really this game, what a moment for them in their season. You have Cam Jordan with the sack fumble on Drew Brees. That gives the ball back to his quarterback. Gives him another chance. Oh, get out of here with that. Gives Brees and the Saints another shot at coming back in this game, but it just was not to be. On 2nd and 5 here, Brees, he's going for Kamara, and no! Jordan Lewis gets the pick there. His first career interception. Pick. I know, that comes at a nice time.
Game winner.
Absolutely. So that is the game there. 13-10. The Cowboys have won 4 straight, breaking the Saints' 10-game losing streak, snapping it. What a game for them today here in Arlington. So let's take a look at the standings now. Jerry Jones, he's clapping. He knows that the Cowboys are still atop the NFC East there. And you can see not a lot of wiggle room here between these teams. And that #1 seed, of course, now goes to the Rams. And the Saints, they fall behind. This is going to be such an interesting stretch to watch what happens in the NFC. Of course, I'm sure the Rams were very excited about this game tonight as they're watching.
Hey, Carolina was excited too.
Yes.
This is when football gets good, man. When you get to December, when these games start to matter most, these are when the games get really good. There's so many games this weekend that are going to have ramifications for down the road, for the playoff spots, for #1 seed, all those things, man. So all these games have been great.
Man, don't go to this weekend yet.
Irv, how you feeling down there?
Let's come back to this Thursday night game right here and talk about what happened here tonight for an offense that has been playing in another stratosphere.
Yeah.
We keep talking about it all year. Who's the best defense right now in the NFL? And the Dallas Cowboys show right here that they want to throw their hat in the ring for being the best defense. Steve, you talked about how much exaltation they give the offensive players. But right here tonight, this was about defensive football, and they showed up and won this football game.
100% right.
You're absolutely right. And with that pressure and how great this defense played, they stopped the Saints because they slowed down and got Drew Brees off his spot.
Right.
He made him uncomfortable. Let's go to the tape you just see. Drew Brees is never is moving around with this dancing feet. He's usually pretty stationary, moving up in the pocket a little bit. He got off his timing. He's picking up the fumbles. This last play though to Lewis, that was an option route. It was their option route that they go to as their bread and butter. Let's get this game started. We have to go 70, 60 yards down the field. Let's get this going. Let's give it to our guy Kamara. And what does he happen? Because he was getting pressure all day, he anticipated that Kamara would win, but he didn't. And he threw the ball early, and it was a mistake, a key mistake, and a game-sealing first interception of the young man's career. No better way to do it, and this defense is playing outstanding. Exactly how, when you guys won your Super Bowl back in the 80s and 90s, you talk about the offense, but you also had great defensive players that made you guys, when you guys didn't have a good night, you knew the defense had your back. That's why football is played in 3 phases: offense, special teams, and defense.
This is an offense that came into the game, the Saints, averaging 37 points per game, and they were held to 10 points tonight. Even that first half with these two teams. Oh my gosh, Drew Brees had 39 passing yards in the first half. You look at the plays that they ran. It's just the discrepancy between the time of possession and the plays ran was unbelievable. This defense, this Dallas defense, put together such an incredible effort tonight.
I thought that in order for the Cowboys to have a shot to win this game, they would have to win the time of possession battle, because before this game, the Saints were leading the NFL with time of possession. The Cowboys defense did a tremendous job at getting pressure on Drew, stopping the run game, and silencing the passing game, which we have not seen defenses do to the Saints this year. They have been able to go to the line and dictate the tempo of the game, dictate what they wanted to do at any given time, and you got to give your hats off to the Cowboys, man. They played a tremendous football game.
37-23 time of possession going to the Dallas Cowboys. That's 23 minutes. That's all you gave, Drew. And when you did give them that time, you were all over them. It's just a fantastic job.
Yeah, and Zeke touched the ball. He was about around 25 times.
Right.
And Dak was under 30 attempts. It's the perfect recipe for them to win football games.
And they kept feeding Zeke, even though the first half, we talked about it.
He had 18 touches in the first half.
For 50 yards only. But, but they kept giving him the ball and allowed him to keep eating that clock, which was big.
So now for the Saints going forward, home field advantage for them is so important, and now that's sort of up in the air. How important is it, and how concerned should they be now that they've faltered a little bit? I mean, it's one game, but still.
Yeah, but that's a huge advantage playing in the dome. And I talked about it in the pregame show, what made this game so big for the Saints. And we heard the people talking about how much fun they have on Monday and Tuesday. And I said, you don't search yourself in defeat. That's what in victory, you just have fun. And they've been having fun. Now, they'll go back this week, and they'll get to searching themselves again to figure out what happened out here tonight, and they'll come back a better team.
I think one of the things we're glancing over is we're talking about New Orleans, what their offense can do, what they can't do. But one of the things we have to be very important to understand is this is a very good, young Cowboys team, but this defense is doing a lot of different things. Ron Marinelli is running this defense, but he's also switching things up. New Orleans expected a certain type of defense, and they came in and they did the total opposite. They were able to rush. They were able to get pressure on there, but they were also able to keep their eyes on the luggage in the secondary, come up and make some big plays, jam those guys, throw them off the routes, and make them look extremely uncomfortable. I can tell you this, whether you play at home or you play on the road, if you cannot step it up and play, because I said it earlier,
Steve.
In November and December is great, but your legend is built in January and February, and if you can't do that, you won't go anywhere. Super Bowl trophy.
How far will they go?
How far do the Cowboys go? If they continue to play lights out right now, and the NFC will no longer be the homecoming division, they will be the home holding trophy of the National Football League, because this defense is not playing. If you can go into the playoffs playing like this, kicking ass and taking names, you're going to scare a lot of people. And they were banging people all day and all night.
Whatever the play was, that's where it stopped. You didn't see much run after.
And I hate defenses when they play this well.
You didn't see much rack when and Kamara and these guys, they're so great at breaking tackles. They didn't get a chance to do that tonight. The Cowboys tackled great tonight.
In 2009, we lost. We were 13-0. We lost to the Cowboys. We had to go search ourselves. We went on a 3-game losing streak going into the playoffs with a #1 seed. We end up going to the Super Bowl. But they're going to have to check themselves though.
Yes or no, can the Cowboys win the Super Bowl?
I said they can.
I tried to get him. Not going to work. That is fine. Thank you, guys.
Have hopes.
Let's see. There we go. Perfect. The Saints tonight, wow, did they kill themselves with penalties, too, on that side of the ball. They got to clean up a lot. They have a lot of work to do. Don't go anywhere, guys. We have more coming up on Total Access. You'll hear from Dak Prescott, Drew Brees, Sean Payton, the whole crew, everybody involved in tonight's game. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes coming up as well. Don't go anywhere, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
And now opportunity for the LA Rams is these two teams are going to be vying for home field advantage.
Well, yeah, as we move through the rest of these weeks, a lot at stake, even for teams like the Saints and the Rams, like you're talking about. But tonight was really about the Dallas Cowboys. And coming into this game, we talked about it, the challenge that they had, and whether or not that defense, as good as they have been playing, whether or not in today's NFL they could play and slow down this explosive offensive group, and they did it. They held the Saints to 170 yards of offense, unheard of. The Saints have typically done that in almost the first quarter of most of these games. Held them to 10 points, got after Drew Brees. It looked awfully good, and then there's still games out ahead of them, but they're peaking at the right time. It's been awfully good for them.
Yeah, well, our Buffalo Wild Wings player at the game is the guy that's right in the center of that defense, Jalen Smith, with Christina Pink.
Jalen, you guys have heard all week long about this Saints offense and all the numbers that they put up. So did you guys come into this game feeling like you had something to prove?
Yes. I mean, we wanted to focus on just attention to detail each and every day this week, you know, preparing for electric office. You know, Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and we had to execute every single play. So we focused on that, and we was able to do that tonight.
So, talking about Brees, you hold this offense to 10 points. You frustrated him all night long. How did you guys do that and limit this offense?
It was a collective effort. You know, the one thing about our defense and what makes us elite is that we run to the ball like no other team. So we showed that, you know, put that on display tonight, and it was a great victory.
Quietly, this defense is playing better and better. You now have won 4 in a row. What is brewing right now with the Cowboys?
Man, we love one another. You know, we're a tribe. We're a unit. And when we play together, we feed off of each other. The ebbs and flows of the game, it's all about perseverance. So we have a clear-eyed view.
All right, good win. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Back to you.
Troy, I know it caught your attention early when Smith made this stop on 3rd down.
Well, I thought Jalen Smith played great throughout the day, and I also thought that Leighton Vander Esch did. But this right here, generally, Kamara is going to score on that play. There's not many linebackers in this league that can run the way that Jalen Smith can and make a play like that against a player like Kamara. So that was a huge play in this ball game.
And think about where he came from. I mean, he was drafted in the 2nd round in 2016, didn't play, had nerve damage in his knee, had torn ligaments in his left knee, including his ACL in the Fiesta Bowl. And man, has he come on. Played with a brace on that knee last year, not playing with a brace right now, and just flying all over the place. Dak Prescott and the offense happy. They had a big first half. How about that guy? Calm him down, Aikman. Back after this.